Good morning. Welcome to our community breakfast. Please find a seat and turn your attention to the screen.
Ani, we give thanks to the Creator. We acknowledge the world around us and understand our place within it. We acknowledge and offer our respect to the many nations that walk this land in the past, the many nations that walk it today, and welcome you to the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe. Sacred trust, we are the keepers of this land. She shelters and sustains us. Long after the flesh fails the spirit, we will care for this land. Our drums will be heard upon the wind, our voices in the rustle of the leaf. Our people have a sacred trust for the land, a trust no man may break, a trust that death cannot sever. We were here when you first stepped foot upon this land, and here we will remain long after the last step has disturbed your soil.
As an institution committed to learning, research, and to improving life, we are on a journey of transformative acts towards reconciliation. We acknowledge our role in strengthening relationships with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and in upholding our responsibilities as treaty partners and citizens. We know there is much work to do here and across Canada, and we are dedicated to taking these next steps together towards a brighter future. Please enjoy your breakfast.
Children! Oh, that was Save the Children. Thank you, everyone. We just created something pretty amazing together with each contribution building towards something bigger. In this case, a rainstorm. I mean, I think you can agree Guelph could use a little rain, if only on the inside. I hope that it energized you. I hope that you feel more connected with others in this room. And as we start this new academic year, let's remember that connection, that feeling of being together, and that together we can create these amazing and powerful moments. And when you go back to your jobs today, try to maintain that. That feeling of ritual, that feeling of connectedness. Go for coffee with your team. Try to create community building in your meetings. And remember that we're all here for a shared purpose, and that is to support a university that improves life. And now, some call her the leader of improving life. I call her the Queen of Connections. It is my pleasure to introduce President Charlotte Yates.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, I've never been called that before. I think I might adopt that in my persona. So I just want to say thank you so much, Andrea. And the worst part is, you revealed a weakness of mine. I cannot snap my fingers with my left hand. For whatever reason, I have tried throughout my life, never succeeded. So I'm still not succeeding. So still things to learn. So welcome, everybody, and it is such a great pleasure to have everybody here today. A banner crowd, so nice to see many familiar faces, but also many new ones. We've hired new staff over the last 3 years. Many of us have never met them in person. We might have met them on Zoom. We might never have met them because they may work proximate to us, but because they're not on our team. Whereas this is our time to meet them, to begin to build those connections, and begin to realize that we're all interconnected with a shared purpose, as Andrea said. We're interconnected, but also sometimes out of those kind of random conversations, coffees, come brilliant ideas. And that's what has really driven the wonder of the University of Guelph. So I just want to say how lovely it is to see everybody. And it's so wonderful to have the energy of being back on campus. I don't know how you felt yesterday. The weather was gorgeous. All the students so excited to be back. And it just means that we're kind of rebuilding a community that is so important to us. So we, of course, with this breakfast, we mark the beginning of both the year, but also a celebration of our community, of the staff and faculty who make up the community and the incredible work that we do. And so I just want to say, when I came here 7 years ago, I thought this was such an unusual tradition. I'd never seen this before. Now I think, wow, this is the genius of Guelph, is bringing people together, celebrating that, marking that beginning of the year. Because it's kind of like a race. I don't know about you, Monday, could barely sleep. I was kind of all like, worried about, am I gonna wear the right thing? Who am I gonna bump into? Is everything gonna be fine? But also, it's not like any other day. It's the beginning of the new academic year. And as you must have gathered by my age and by my position, I spent 90% of my life in universities or in school. So as a result, for me, that Monday morning, that Tuesday morning beginning is something I've experienced since I was 5, just a little different now, but I'm a little bit older. So I just want to say how lovely it is to see all of you, and I do want to welcome, particularly, many of you may not have met her yet. We do have a new chancellor who is a dear friend, loving, devoted to the University of Guelph. So I want to welcome our chancellor, Marianne Chambers. If I could ask you to stand up, Marianne. We are so fortunate. Dr. Chambers represents us in so many ways. But I will tell you also, she's quite a taskmaster. If I'm busy, she makes me busier, because she's got lots of great ideas. And it's important to follow through, because she's connected to a bigger, different world than me. And that combined, hopefully, will make us a bigger and better place. I also want to recognize our provost, Gwen Chapman. Thank you very much, Gwen, for coming. Sharmila Rashid, our vice president, finance and operations. And I'm not sure, I haven't seen him yet, but Malcolm Campbell, our vice president, research, I think may or may not be here. I know Vice President External Daniel Atlin is away at the moment, but I want to say thank you, welcome. Jen Gauthier-Chalafour, are you here? I haven't seen her yet either. Part of our leadership team. So I do want to start by saying you'll have noticed a little bit of information boosts. Make sure you kind of have a look if you have a chance when you're sipping a coffee, or just to get to know some of the resources we have available. Some of you are old hands at the university, but it still means sometimes we forget the supports that we have available. And to those people who are new here, you'll realize there are many, many layers of support. It takes a while to get to know a large institution such as ours. And part of this month, September, is Employee Orientation Month. So I take advantage of, if I were you, of all the opportunities, but also ask those around you about what's available and for those things that you need. Employee O Month is a wellness, just as we have Student O Week, we have Employee O Month, which is a wellness at work initiative. And it's a cross-campus collaboration for all employees, designed to build community, build connection, but also focus on the beauty of our campus and our own health as we move into the year of work. It's a time for us to celebrate one-of-a-kind opportunities at the University of Guelph, but also it's a time to just get healthy, get moving. Many of you will know or may know I'm an early morning walker. I like walking in the morning. It really sets me up for the day. And it's one of those things that I got really into during COVID. I think it helped me survive COVID, was going for that early morning walk, thinking about my day, being grateful for the things I had around me, and then starting off. So hopefully you'll find walking around our campus, I do this as much as I can. It's a beautiful campus, beautiful arboretum right beside us. And of course, we will have Healthy Workplace Month, where we're encouraging people to run, walk, roll, however you can, explore the campus and enjoy the beauty of the gardens at this time of year. And of course, physical activity is an important part of us being healthy and mindful. So I do want to say thank you to the Wellness at Work Programming Committee, as they've organized in-person events, tours, and challenges, online and in person, that will challenge your social, mental, and physical well-being. And I encourage you to take some time just to get acquainted with them, maybe take part in one or two of them. One of the things that I promised myself is, if there is a public yoga session on Johnson Green, the idea of doing yoga on Johnson Green, I'm not a yoga person, I would love to try it. So maybe that'll be something I'll try as part of wellness. So over the last year it's been a difficult year for us, and I want to say thank you all. We've had to have incredible resiliency to get through it. I think in some ways, this past year was in many ways harder than the previous year, because just as we thought things were going to return to some kind of normalcy, we kept getting dashed. Our hopes dashed, and getting back into vaccines, mandates, worrying about our family, our friends, being isolated from our community members. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm hopeful that this next year will look a lot different from last year. We've had incredible successes last year, and I want to say they're because of you and all the work that you've done. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your commitment to improve life. And of course, I'm excited, as I said at the beginning, to return to campus, to return in person, to figure out how is there a new normal that we need to set up, and what is that new normal? And I'm hoping we'll do this together. I have ideas, but I also want to know what your ideas are. I try and make myself, if you see me, many of you have known me through various chance encounters. Make sure you take advantage of that. Give me your ideas, send me an email. If you see me walking on campus, grab me with an idea or walk with me. This last year, we've been doing more intentional consultation around the new strategic plan. And before you yawn, a new strategic plan, I'm hoping not. I used to yawn when I've been in university long enough, I've seen a lot of them, and they can get shelved. You do a lot of work, people give you great ideas, and they get very excited, and then they sit there on the shelf and nothing happens. I'm committing to you, and I'm going to work my hardest that we're going to follow through with the ideas and the input that you gave us. But also, you can prod me, and I'm going to try and be as accountable as possible so that you can say, well, what about this? We committed to this. Here's some ideas. So we heard from the community very loudly and clearly that people are looking for a bold, visionary strategic plan. They want a plan that will build and allow people to understand the genius of the University of Guelph, the fact that we are an amazing institution that offers students a unique opportunity, that is a rich place to work, and where we do groundbreaking research, discovery, and creativity. So I'm hopeful that you'll remain engaged in the strategic planning exercise. I will be moving it forward this early fall, take it to Senate and the board. And as we do get it approved, I'm hoping I'll have opportunities to engage you in achieving those objectives. And I do want to say, in that plan, featured very prominently, not going to go through the goals, but featuring very prominently is our shared commitment to students and to excellence in teaching and learning. And I want to say thank you, Andrea, as just one example of, I would never have had the courage to do what you did up here. I would have been afraid it might have failed. That takes a lot of courage, but that courage makes us a great, real commitment to teaching and learning. Your passion for research and discoveries. I've talked to a number of you this morning who have been either away or actively doing research. Well, you are what makes a university different from any other educational institution. And of course, all the work of many people on campus who create a beautiful and supportive environment. So many of you here that's your job, and we value it every single day that we're on campus, whether that's in our gardens, the fact that we have bees on campus, that we have the most delicious food in Canada of any campus, possibly anywhere in the US. I will say I had the great fortune of attending a conference, first I'd been to in several years because of COVID, in a very prestigious US institution. And I said, wow, your food is nothing on ours, okay? So we should be proud of the work we do, because what we do is amazing. And here's what I want you, I'm gonna make a set of commitments to you. And I expect you to hold me to account. First of all, that I will communicate often and regularly with you. I'm gonna try and be both here and outside the university, raising funds, influence, and so on. But my job is to make sure you know, what am I doing? And what's going on in the university sector, including what's going on with the latest with COVID-19. I'm going to encourage you to experiment, to try well-calculated changes and risks. Many of you who've worked with me I like to explore change because I think there's always better ways for us to do what we do. So I would like to ask you not to be afraid, but also that I will support you in that change. I'm very, very committed to engagement with internal community members, and thank you, Andrea, that was a great compliment, but also to our external partners. We have many, many friends of the university and many partners who we need to understand what it is that we do, whether that be provincial, federal government, whether it be international partners. And finally, I commit to you my commitment to transparency and accountability, that I expect you to be able to call me to account. If we have a strategic plan, I need to be following through. I need to explore with you, how am I measuring whether our team is living up to the objectives, but also when we're not, or when we think we need to adjust it, getting input from the community. So I'm going to ask you, when the strategic plan comes out, think about how it impacts your goals, where you see yourself, and also how you can make a contribution, because we will only be successful when we're all invested. And of course, I look forward to seeing new ideas flourish, because strategic plans are always fairly high level. And I know as people think about it, then they'll find new ways to bring it to life, to allow it to flourish, just as our gardens do. So, in the course of building that strategic plan, of course, core to it are the values of the University of Guelph, one of which is a sense and a commitment of community. And I want to suggest we lean on community and be courageous, like Andrea Buchholz, in doing that kind of exercise, which brought us together in a very, very interesting way. And of course, I have to say as well, I am moved every time I see Chief LaForme's land acknowledgement. It truly is a reminder of our place here, our commitment, but also the generations of commitment that come before us and will come after us. So, whether you have advice for me, a question, you want to tell me something that's kind of annoying you, I am here. And you know, many of you will know, I want to hear from you, so please grab me when you can, send me an email, set up a meeting with me. I know my assistant Kim will absolutely, she says, I cannot keep committing to this, but we'll find the time. We'll do it, and if you want to go for a walk with me, we'll figure that out. So now I get to, of course, transition to one of the main purposes of this community breakfast, because in addition to celebrating being a community, I'm pleased to recognize staff and faculty members for long-standing and exemplary service to our institution. This past spring, we presented 25-year awards to staff and faculty. The 25 or Quarter Century Club now numbers more than 500 people. Wow, was it a huge and successful event. Each of these people build and have strengthened the university's reputation. They do incredible work, and they've made us known for being the great comprehensive research institution that we are, known for excellence and being a caring community. They represent a huge institutional resource, so if you know some of those people, draw on them, especially if you're new. They have lots to teach you, and I'm sure they'd be willing to do so. So this past year, we celebrated the 25-year award for 2020, 21, and 22. Now, everyone with more than 25 years of service, would you please stand to be recognized now by the entire community? Thank you for your service, and thank you for your continuing commitment to the university. I would now like to invite Dr. Kate Dewey, our Associate Vice President Academic, to come forward to present the 2022 Excellence in Undergraduate Academic Advising Medallion. Kate, over to you.
Thank you, President Yates. Undergraduate academic advising during the pandemic. Very, very, very difficult to do a good job of doing that. So it is my great honor to invite the 2022 recipient, Dr. Martin Holland, to come forward, please. Dr. Martin Holland, who is the faculty advisor and undergraduate coordinator for the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture degree program. Even during COVID-19 lockdowns, students found Dr. Martin Holland's door open when they needed help navigating academic decisions in the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, the BLA program. Nominators praised him for finding creative ways to connect with and provide exceptional support to BLA students. Nominator, Dr. Sean Kelly, a Cedred professor in landscape architecture, stated in his submission that Martin is a champion of students who exudes compassion. Student letters of support for the nomination praised Martin for his approachability and availability, his care and dedication, and his infectious enthusiasm for the profession. Students also remarked on Holland's valuable support of the Landscape Architecture Student Society. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Martin Holland as the 2022 recipient of the Excellence in Undergraduate Academic Advising Medallion.
I'm now pleased to present this year's President's Awards for Exemplary Staff Service. These awards allow us to recognize our peers for excellence and outstanding service, and to celebrate their achievements. This is the 19th year of these awards, and we've created a video that highlights the impact and celebrates our employee dedication to the University of Guelph.
President's Exemplary Staff Awards, taking the time to nominate, recognize, and award our staff and faculty. 7 awards are assigned over 5 categories. .582 staff have been nominated, and 122 awards have been presented. We recognize 234 staff for their service, dedication, and contributions to the University of Guelph. Thank you for all you do.
Those numbers are just astonishing, and they're so indicative of the impact that staff have and of the kind of culture that we have on campus that really drives our success. I would like now to invite those who have been recognized for an Exemplary Staff Award for this year to come forward to the stage, please. And as you approach the stage, come on to stage. We'll get a nice photo with you, please. Every year, our selection committee faces a strong slate of nominees in 5 categories. This year was no exception, and I'd like to thank those from across campus who took time to nominate staff members this year, and I'd also like to thank members of the selection committee who are drawn from representatives across the university community. The committee is chaired, thank you, by Sharmila Rashid, Vice President, Finance and Operations, and includes a representative from each of the Board of Governors, college deans, department chairs, students, staff, and administration. Thank you to the committee members, and in particular, I'd like to acknowledge Michael Chislett, John Cranfield, Nathaniel Harding, Coral Moran, who I haven't seen yet. Coral, are you here? There you are. Hi, Coral. Irene Thompson, Krista Miller, and PJ Moore, who are unable to attend. Now, I'd like to acknowledge this year's awardees. I'd like to invite everybody to the recipients are, and the first is the Exemplary Team Recognition Award. And Claire, I am looking. Yes, okay. First is, the recipients are the Chemistry Lab Coordinator Team. I'm just going to say, wow. Robert Reed, Kate Stutterford, Jennifer Prue, and Dara Schaefer. These remarkable team through an incredibly difficult time, and we all know we have thousands of chemistry students. We have limited space, and we had a pandemic. A perfect storm for things to go wrong, but because of this team, they went right. High quality, relevant laboratory experience in lab courses that served over 3,000 students each year. Under ever-changing conditions of the pandemic, which we all went through, but not quite like this, the team, with their own initiative, retooled 12 lab courses to offer a combination of face-to-face and remote labs, both safely and effectively. They created online modules serving 8,000 first-year students over 2 years. Rebuilt courses to run in spaces which were not designed for chemistry labs, which is really quite some feat, and revamped second and third-year labs to ensure that U of G was one of the very few Ontario universities that offered in-person training in a complete range of marketable chemistry skill sets throughout the pandemic. I want to thank you so much for your commitment, ingenuity, but also the students, those thousands of students. You have changed their life, so thank you. Okay, the next award, I love the name of this one, the Hidden Hero. The Hidden Hero Award goes to 3 recipients. Holly Biker, Manager, Eastern and Northern Crop Research Center. Hi, Holly. Jennifer Cosentino, Admin Assistant, Maplewood Center for Family and Child Psychology. And Premila Suthasivaman, Manager, Human Anatomy Lab. Thank you for joining me on the podium. And let me say just a word about each one of these wonderful hidden heroes. So as manager of the University of Guelph's Eastern and Northern Crop Research Center, Holly inspires staff and students with her work ethic, excellent service, and she's fostered an environment of collaboration and inclusiveness. From overseeing major transitions, including new facility construction, staffing changes, to mentoring numerous students, she finds better ways to achieve work-related goals and to foster excellent relationships with stakeholders. As a research technician in Winchester, she coordinates faculty member research trials in most field crops grown in Eastern Ontario, providing quality data used by numerous farmers in their operations. Congratulations and thank you, Holly. As administrative assistant, Jennifer ensured that the University of Guelph's Maplewood Center for Family Therapy and Child Psychology continued its clinical training of future psychologists despite remote work provisions necessitated by the pandemic. Working closely with clinicians, clients, supervisors, and financial services, she instituted systems to ensure accurate and timely maintenance of record keeping and billing. As a hands-on member of a team during the pandemic, Jen was instrumental in facilitating a complicated move of the clinic to newly renovated quarters. And if you don't know where they are, the old VMI has been made into this lovely center. So coordinating that move during a pandemic, no small feat. And notably, ensuring privacy-compliant management of sensitive client records and assessment tools. Thank you and congratulations, Jennifer. And finally, as a manager of U of G's Human Anatomy program, Premila, or Prem as I love to call her, developed and oversees every aspect of the body donation program that ensures critical experiential learning opportunities for dozens of students each year. She's available to donor families around the clock, and if you ever speak to Prem or the donors, the care and attention she pays to their loved one and to their needs is really second to none. She has secured more than 150 donors for the program, and she orchestrates the most beautiful and moving celebration of life event that enables students to honor donors, their family members, and to witness the good works of their loved ones. Premila serves also on the Departmental Health and Wellness and EDI committees. She volunteers for causes including the U of G United Way, science outreach events, COVID vaccine clinics, donation drives for local and global recipients. She's an all-round, very active member of our community. Thank you and congratulations, Premila. The next one is the Innovative Leadership Recognition Award. This award recognizes 2 individuals, Laurie Halfpenny-Mitchell and Natasha Young. Please step forward, as I know you have. So, as director of the OMAFRA U of G Agreement and Research Programs, Laurie manages the university's compliance with the Alliance conditions as well as its budget, which accounts for about 11% of U of G's total operations. It's a big responsibility. Her personal integrity, her strategic leadership and mentoring skills Her commitment to building relationships and her rigorous oversight of cost-benefit data all help to ensure continuous improvement of the Alliance's contributions to the Ontario's agri-food sector. By supporting numerous researchers and Office of Research staff, Laurie ultimately helps to underwrite U of G's reputation as Canada's food university and improves life for all Ontarians. Thanks and congratulations, Laurie. As an advocate for Indigenous students, Natasha Young, manager of the Indigenous Student Centre, is frequently called upon as a collaborator, advisor, and educator for various projects and committees, including the Indigenous Initiative Strategic Task Force and the Chancellor Selection Committee. She works diligently with care and thoughtfulness in everything she does. And I will say, just as a little side note, I got an email yesterday from a parent who was complimenting Natasha and her team for the incredible onboarding of Indigenous students onto our campus this year. So it's that kind of work that's important in building the campus as the campus we aspire to be. She's engaged in community-based research that has enhanced programming and services for Indigenous learners and has been recognized for its promising practices across the sector. Her consistency as a leader and her dedication to change have helped improve life at U of G and for many Indigenous students, alumni, and their families and communities. Thanks and congratulations, Natasha. This year, the next award is the Service Excellence Recognition Award. This year, starts to be one last person on the stage. Nothing nerve-wracking about starting with a crowd and ending with all the attention on you. This year, the recipient of the Service Excellence Award is Sarah Gibbons. As a writing specialist in the McLaughlin Library, Sarah coaches the writing services team of 10 graduate students. Writing consultants, and up to 15 undergraduate writing peers who serve the entire campus community. Working on program development and staff training with library staff and other campus units, including the Office of Teaching and Learning, Sarah models effective client service to support students and faculty. Sarah has served as the co-chair of the library's undergraduate orientation committee, volunteered for the U of G House Calls program, and received federal funding to create online teaching modules for science communication in collaboration with the Campbell Centre for the Study of Animal Welfare. Thank you and congratulations, Sarah. The final award to be recognized today is for excellence in wellness, health, and safety. This award was presented last week at a Ridgetown community event to the Ridgetown campus livestock team. How many of you have been to the Ridgetown campus? If you ever get a chance, if you're going for a drive in that area, it is a lovely place to go. It truly is. And we're very proud that it's part of the University of Guelph and proud of the work of this team. Ensuring top-notch wellness and maintenance of Ridgetown campus's animals and facilities used by students in the renowned experiential learning agriculture diploma is the job of this livestock team. Of Mark Mondon, maybe I'll ask if you're here to stand, if you're here, Mark Mondon, George Woodenberg, Norm Tosh, Rob Reed, Dave Hogg, Christina Lockaby-Tom, maybe not here. This group ensures that the entire livestock team, including instructors, has reliable and accessible use of the facilities and strives to share pertinent data, knowledge, and other information. Illustrating their commitment to users' well-being, the team members have ensured prompt attention to wellness, health, and safety issues, and even stepped in to help with livestock experiential learning while an instructor recuperated from surgery. I don't think many of us could step in to do that kind of instruction. So please join me once more in recognizing this team for their commitment to the University of Guelph. And our last round of applause for all the award winners and those who are nominated who make our university such a great place. And to end today, I want to say thank you to the incredible, these events don't happen without incredible organization, so thank you to the teams of people who put this wonderful event together and brought us together. A special shout out to our hospitality staff for the delicious breakfast. And thank you all for all that you do to make the University of Guelph a great place. I'm delighted to wish each and every one of you all the best in the year to come. As I say, I look forward to meeting many of you over the course of the next few months and connecting with you in some capacity. I want to hear from you and your departments. If you want me to come and visit, send us an email. Find me on LinkedIn. Tag me on Twitter. Not sure I'm the one on Twitter, but anyway, I'm not too good on the social media side, but I know it all gets back to me eventually. So please, invite me to your meetings, to your events. I want to share those celebrations with you. Thank you. Good luck for the week. Look after yourself. It's a busy time. Enjoy. Thank you.